Today I'm completely transforming another bedroom. As you can see, this one's a bit of a doozy. Believe it or not, by the end of this video, we'll be able to call this our guest bedroom. Since we moved in a year ago, this room goes from week to week to being a dumping zone to being completely clean and now full of decor and storage. So follow along as I clean this up and DIY my way through this. As always, hit that like button if you're enjoying this video. But before we jump into the massive clean out of this room, I want to say thank you to today's sponsor, Babbel. Babbel is one of the top language learning apps in the world with over 10 million subscriptions worldwide. So this would be a great app if you're needing to learn a new language for travel reasons, maybe for work, or you're just wanting to keep your mind refreshed like me.
Perdón, ¿tú hablas inglés?
Perdón, ¿tú hablas inglés? I use it just about 15 to 30 minutes a day. I like to keep my Spanish growing. Over the past several months, I've been able to relearn a little bit of that, get some refreshers. The app is designed to prepare you for situations that you would actually run into in real life conversations. And what's nice about it is that you can learn on the go, on your phone. Anytime that you have free time is when I like to sneak it in. And sometimes I do that with the girls. They can hear and they pick up a little bit on it and they like to learn as well. Buenos dias.
Buenos dias.
Good
Morning.
There's multiple ways to learn: lessons, podcasts, games, videos. Their award-winning technology is scientifically proven to get you speaking in just 3 weeks. If you want to start speaking a new language in 3 weeks with Babbel, you can get up to 65% off your subscription if you click the link down in my description. Gracias again to Babbel for sponsoring this video, and let's jump into some heavy lifting. Woo! Okay, this was the room that finally just got on my last nerves. I was trying to get something out of the closet. This is where I store all the old baby clothes, so every time I have to go and grab that, it's just hard to get in here, and I was tired of it. Also, we had a neighborhood garage sale coming up, so I figured this is the best time that I could clear this out, and I'll be able to raise some of the money to put into this room: paint, supplies, things like that. So most of the things that you see in here are things that we brought over from our old house, and I think I say that later, but they are things that like were decor in our old house or things that we've been storing for the girls, and we just don't need them in this space. So I gave away a lot of stuff before I even went through this room to some friends of ours, and then I'm just getting the rest ready to take downstairs for our neighborhood garage sale. Took a little bit of time, but here's a progress update on the room. I've got everything put back into the closet that's staying. It just needs to be better organized, and eventually I want to put like a system in here for the decor. A lot of the stuff I took downstairs. We're having a garage sale this weekend. Almost everything that's going into that sale, stuff from our old house that I thought would work here and that didn't work out in this space in this house for whatever reason. Selling that to fund a little bit of this room. We've got the rest of the room prepped for painting. We did it! The garage sale is all done. Today was awesome. I sat outside from probably 8 until 2-ish, and we got rid of almost everything. The only things I had left were some baby items, which is great because I was gonna give those to some friends. This room is less cluttered and the whole house is a lot less cluttered. The only things we have now are the things that we intend on using. Also means that we can start painting in this room. I do think I have the color picked out. You never know when you get to the store. Sometimes I just kind of see a color and I know and I grab it and that's the one we go with. We'll see. I gotta get going because I have to get to Lowe's before it closes. There's a turtle on the back of here, but I just sat and sketched out my plan for this wall over here. Something similar to what I did in the living room downstairs, but I'm adding a little bit extra detail here with some molding. Do I want to do that before I paint the wall? I want to do that before I paint. No. I think I want to paint the wall and then put that up, but I just want to have it all, so I do one trip to Lowe's. It's been a while since I've taken on painting an entire room in this house. The last time I did it, I was very pregnant and that was exhausting. So these 8-foot ceilings are nothing. Piece of cake, right? This is also the first time that I've ever covered an entire room in a dark color, so I was a little bit nervous. but I think that you'll really like it. This is the Sherwin-Williams Color of the Year Evergreen Fog. I've been seeing it everywhere, and I am currently still obsessed with green. I don't know, does this still count as neutral, or is this like going out from neutral? Am I getting crazy? Drying a little darker than I was expecting, so I don't know, but we're gonna keep rolling with it. We'll see. If you have to paint any sort of wall at all, I definitely recommend an 18-inch roller. It changes the game, saves so much time. It's the only reason that I was like, yeah, I'll paint this. If you want a link to my painting supplies or any of the products in this video, I will link them all down in the description, but I've got a list over on Amazon of the painting supplies that I most often use. First coat done on the whole room. I think I like it now that it's done. Honestly, I could get away with doing just one coat, but there are a few spots I want to touch up. I think I'm gonna start on the trim now, the fun part. So I didn't go into a lot of detail talking about this process here, but I just did the exact same thing in our living room makeover if you want to go and watch that video as well. This is some wall molding that I'm putting up here on the wall, and what I just used were miter snips, which makes the entire process so simple. You can get your 45-degree cuts without having to walk back and forth to your miter saw. And I am using this trim that you saw me pick up from Lowe's, just nailing that onto the wall. And after the math is done, it's very easy to do. You can totally do this, and it adds such a good detail to the wall. I'm gonna paint it the same color in a little bit, and it's just a little pop there, a little bit of elegance. Ending this day by taking out all the trash and cleaning the room up as much as possible, I was able to get the whole room painted and that trim up all in one day, and that last piece I put on the next morning because my nail gun died. The next part, the best part, bringing in the things we have for the room. Surprisingly, this was an Amazon Prime Day find. I got this for over half off, but this is such a great sturdy entry table if you're looking for one, or back of the sofa table. It's very pretty, and I love the darkness in this room. No idea how this gets back on here. Alright, so here is where things start to get funny. My 3-year-old, of course, saw this room cleaned out and decided she wanted her own room, a dinosaur room. So I talked to her about it for a while to see if she was actually serious about it. And we decided that if there's someone that ever comes and stays with us, that she will just go over and bunk with her sister and they can use this guest space. And basically I had Charlie sit down with me and design the rest of the room. She picked out almost every item that you're seeing go into this room from here on out. And we have a guest room version of it and then a dinosaur room version of it. This rug we found at Target, which actually surprisingly soft because I think it was like a wool blend. It is curtain. You can't see this. This is really weird lighting, isn't it? Time to hang up the curtain rods. I bought these at Target, and I have, I think, 3 sets. I have 3 sets of curtains from our old house, and I'm gonna try each of them and see if I like any of them enough, hopefully to reuse them, and then I'll have to buy a matching set for the other window. To start off with, for curtains, what you really want is for them to be hung as high as you can to make the window feel taller, make your walls feel taller, bring the height up in the room. I'm not a designer, but I know that at least. These used to be in the girls' room when I redid their room at our old house, and I think this looks really good. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna like this here, and I know that they still sell them, so I can get another pair. I usually measure down about 3 inches from the ceiling on each side, and then I like to come out with the bar past the edge of the window. I'll hold it up here and see what that is. So what you're gonna need is a drywall anchor. If your curtain rods came with hardware, it's most likely this that you're gonna see. If you can avoid using that, do that. Those are trash, and you wanna get an anchor that looks a little bit more like this. These are my favorite. They are much more secure. Gathered a few things here for the room. We stopped by Home Goods and picked up some baskets. Best place to buy baskets. They have the best selection and the best prices. This is not an ad for Home Goods, but they really do. I also got this blanket for the end of the bed. I just love the waffle pattern. I was looking really hard for a dark basket. The color is perfect, but I don't really like this like yarn thing that's happening around it. Little faux tree hack for you, never buy the taller tree because boxes are free. Here's an example of what that tree looks like without the boxes stacked up, and then you're just gonna wanna fill that in with some Spanish moss, which I don't even think I did by the end of this video, but you can grab that at Michael's or craft store. Shout out to my neighbor for letting me borrow her steamer so nobody yells at me in the comments about wrinkly curtains. Here's the lamp Charlie liked. Of course fits in well with the guest space, but also looks kind of fossil-y if you think about it for the dinosaur theme. Alright, we finally got a bed in here. From the very beginning I thought this was the bed I was going to get for this room. I spent so long online searching for other beds, and I found one on Facebook Marketplace that was perfect. I was so excited. I was ready to go pick it up. I scheduled the time with the lady, and then she sold it, like, out from under me as I was like about to go pick it up. So I had to resort back to this just because it was the best deal. So we always go with a classic, simple IKEA bed in the end. Once the bed was done, Charlie and I had a little mattress store date, and we got to lay on some mattresses and have her pick out which she thought was the comfiest. I can definitely say that I agree. And we got this mattress in a box to roll out in here. The twin mattresses that we had in this room, we just moved across the hall to the bunk bed, so they've got a nice upgraded mattress in there as well. What I think is so funny is that our girls are absolutely best friends. So yes, Charlie asked to come over here and have her own room, but they still sleep together almost every night. Now we just have another room to sleep in, so they just go back and forth. One of the things that I found while cleaning this room out that I kept because I knew I would find a use for it somewhere were these old picture frames that we had hanging up in our dining room at the old house before we did that makeover video on it. I really like these frames. They have a non-reflective glass or screening on the front. Anyway, I just wanted to slightly change the color of the frame. I had a lot of dark things in here, so I wanted to take them a tad bit darker, and I decided to do what I did to our coffee table in the living room because I had leftover glaze from that project as well. So not spending any money here, using that Java brown glaze from Rust-Oleum to make them match this room a little bit better, and eventually we'll swap out the photos, but right now Charlie's in them, so I felt like it kind of fit. Alright, just some finishing touches in the styling department, and I will show you both versions of the room, some dinosaur and some guest area. But first, let's look at where we started. This room is so cozy and inviting, just with all the dark vibes we've got going on. I'm so glad that we can utilize this room now instead of just storing things in here. And as promised, here is how the room will be most of the time, with all of the touches Charlie picked out for her dinosaur room. Although everything that she picked out in here, she called it for her dinosaur room. So this is her dinosaur bench and her dinosaur side table and her dinosaur lamp that you're seeing as well.
And very, very like my dinosaur room.
I hope you enjoyed both versions of this room, both calm, inviting, and prehistoric. Comment down below for me your favorite part. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, happy DIYing!